I'm Jerry McKee. It's your community and it's your life. We have several arrests and one malicious injury to personal property. This happened on 115 Loop, Union, South Carolina, and that's on Highway 215 if I'm not mistaken. And this is what happened there. The victim was Crystal Nicole Mills. And on 131, deputies were dispatched to 215 Loop in reference to a car window being shot. Upon arrival, deputies spoke with Kenneth Walton and his niece, Crystal Mills. Both stated that they heard several shots being fired and then noticed the back glass of Mills' car was busted. Well, Walton stated that the shots sounded as if they were coming from across Monarch Highway. Mills stated that she thought someone was shooting in the air and one of the projectiles fell on her car, breaking the glass. Mills stated that the hatchback to her car, a 2002 PT Cruiser, was open. She stated that the car was backed up next to a building on the property and with the front of the car facing the loop. Prior to the deputies' arrival, Mills moved the car closer to Walton's residence and closed the hatchback. Photos were taken and things were, that's scary, noticing that your window's going to be busted. I mean, if you could be standing outside, if you shoot a gun in the air, the bullet's going to come back down somewhere. So if you're shooting a gun, be careful and not to shoot it just directly in the air to start with, or at anyone, of course, we know that one. All right, the next one we have is possession of cocaine, his first offense. Raquis Sharon Fleming, 317 South Mountain Street in Union. His possession of cocaine, his first offense. And this is what happened. On 1/31/2022, deputies were attempting to serve magistrate bench warrants on Raquis Fleming at 317 South Mountain Street in the city of Union. Deputies were able to locate Fleming, who was placed under arrest on the magistrate bench warrant. Raquis Fleming was transported to the Union County Jail by Deputy Taylor. Once at the jail, Fleming was searched by jail officer Mark Pettit, who recovered a small clear bag containing a white powdery substance and a straw from Fleming's right pocket. The items were placed into an evidence bag and turned over to Deputy Taylor. The white powdery substance was field tested in the sheriff's office. The field test indicated that the substance was positive for cocaine. Deputy Taylor placed the white powdery substance along with the straw into the best pack, and the best pack was placed into the patrol drop box for evidence. A chain of custody form was completed and attached to the best pack. Deputy Taylor will seek a warrant for possession of cocaine, which he did. So not only did he have a bench warrant, he had also arrested for possession of cocaine. That's his first offense. Remember, they're not guilty until they go to court. And when they go to court, that's where they found either guilty or not guilty. All right, we have a domestic violence, second degree. David Cameron Gregory was charged with domestic violence, a second degree. And this is kind of what happened. On 1/29/22, Corporal Stanley responded to 1403 Jonesville Highway in reference to a domestic. Upon arrival, Corporal Stanley spoke with the complaint, Miss Katie Gregory. Miss Gregory had stated her husband, whom she is separated from, attacked her. Corporal Stanley knew that the male to be Mr. David Gregory. Corporal Stanley could see a visible injury on Miss Gregory's forehead. Corporal Stanley photographed the injury to be documented. Miss Gregory provided a voluntarily written statement on the incident, and Miss Gregory stated that David Gregory had picked their daughter up from school and had to use her minivan because he let his friend use his car. Miss Gregory arrived at her house and he left immediately, and Mr. Gregory then messaged Miss Gregory on Snapchat and told her that he had her van key. Miss Gregory told him to leave it in the seat of her van, and Mr. Gregory then started messaging her about someone she is seeing and how she was trying to play him. Miss Gregory stated she was doing this with him and blocked him on Snapchat. A few seconds later, she heard him knocking at the door, and when she went to the door to tell him to leave the key in the seat, he said a bad word. I'm keeping your key. Miss Gregory stated that he was the only key and her only vehicle. Mr. Gregory said he threw the key in the yard. Miss Gregory said that. Threw the key in the yard. So Mrs. Gregory thought she was lying on the... so she ran down to the yard to look for it in his car. Mr. Gregory then grabbed Miss Gregory around her throat and pulled her to the ground. Miss Gregory then jumped up, and Mr. Gregory ran toward her, and she slapped him out of a reaction from the past abuse. As soon as she smacked him, he punched her in the head directly above her right eye. Miss Gregory immediately started to call 911, but answered another call from a friend. Mr. Gregory then started coming towards her, stating that she had hit him first. Miss Gregory stated that her daughter was screaming at Mr. Gregory to leave her alone because she saw what happened. Miss Gregory saw her neighbor pulling up, and once he got out of his car, Mr. Gregory was telling him that Miss Gregory hit him first. The neighbor told Miss Gregory to go inside with the girls, so she did and called 911 once she got inside. You know, this is horrible. If you're going to separate, if you're getting a divorce, go your ways. Don't instigate it, and please don't show violence in front of your children. These two young girls who just picked up from school. You know, they don't want to see their mother hurt. They don't want to see their father hurt. Be respectful. That's all you got to do. So, with not being respectful, he was charged with domestic violence in the second degree. David Cameron Gregory. We have another drug arrest here. Possession of scheduled narcotics, Schedule 1, B and C narcotics, LSD, Schedule 2 narcotics, and it's a first offense, and this is a felony. Christopher Michael Kiesler of 117 Hilltop View in Union, South Carolina, was arrested for drug possession of narcotics. And this is what happened on 129-22. Deputy Patterson was on patrol, U.S. Highway 176 near New Hope Church Road within the county of Union, South Carolina, when I observed a vehicle that appeared to be exceeding the posted speed limit. I confirmed with the radar the vehicle to be traveling 79 miles per hour, then slowed down to 77 in the 55 zone. A traffic stop was initiated. Upon approaching the vehicle, I identified myself, reason for the stop, and requested a driver's license. Christopher Kiesler, subject, showed his license. As I approached the vehicle, I observed the subject placing something into the front of his pants, his underwear area. Subject's eyes appeared to be glassy, and his hands visibly shook. I observed what appeared to be an unlabeled pill bottle in the front console area. I requested subject exit the vehicle and speak with me. Subject had on his person what appeared to be several large bulges in his pants pocket. Subject removed several items from his pocket, at which time I observed what appeared to be a small straw. Subject removed it and gave it to me. The straw appeared to be cut in half. From my training and experience, the straw appeared to be an instrument commonly used to snort pills, illegal narcotics. Subject was Mirandized. Subject then removed a small tube from his pants' underwear area and gave it to me. Inside were 7 blue pills, which were hard to believe to contain fentanyl, a controlled substance. Subject was then arrested, cuffs checked for tightness, placed into my patrol car. Vehicle towed by Ford Family Towing. The evidence was secured and later placed into a best kit to be tested. The evidence was then placed in the evidence drop box at the Union County Sheriff's Office. Subject was transported to Union County Detention Center in good condition. A warrant was obtained for possession of controlled substance and served on the subject. So Christopher Michael Kiesler was arrested for the possession of Schedule 1 narcotics and also LSD Schedule 2 narcotics. You know, fentanyl is a horrible drug that has taken a lot of lives, more lives than COVID. And in our county alone, there's been so many ODs on this horrible drug. Since this is his first offense, I hope he's going to learn a lesson. And like I said, he's not guilty until he goes to court and proven guilty in the court of law. Patrick Brandon Allen is charged with domestic violence in second degree. He lives at 309 3rd Street in Union, South Carolina. And this is what happened, that Mr. Allen got arrested on January the 30th, 2022 at approximately 12:58 hours. Deputies responded to 309 3rd Street, South Carolina in reference to a domestic call. Upon arrival, the deputy made contact with a female, later identified as Miss Jennifer Allen. She stated she was involved in a verbal incident with her husband, Mr. Patrick Allen. She stated during the incident, Mr. Allen became physical by grabbing her purse, which was on her shoulder, and dragged her down the hall. She stated Mr. Allen then left the scene with 3 other children. She stated the children were present and witnessed the incident. The deputy observed marks on Jennifer's left shoulder and obtained a digital photo which is attached to the report. Miss Allen completed a sworn statement, a written statement in reference to the incident. A victim's notification form was also completed. While on the scene, Miss Allen received carbon copies of both forms. While on the scene, deputies observed Mr. Allen's white Chevy Suburban past the residence. An investigative stop was conducted on the vehicle. While interviewing Mr. Allen, he admitted to snatching the purse, however stated nothing physical took place. Mr. Allen returned his vehicle to the scene where he worked out arrangements to have someone take care of his children. Mr. Allen has 3 children from a previous relationship. Through deputies' investigation, they determined Miss Allen was a victim of domestic violence second degree due to the children being present during the incident. Mr. Allen was transported to Union County Jail without incident, and a warrant affidavit was created and signed by Judge Smith. Again, control your tempers, people. If you're in a bad relationship, take someone with you, and please don't do this in front of your children. You're giving them the wrong impression on how to handle relationships. And plus, they get scared on this. Well, I'm Jerry McKee, and it's your community, and it's your life. Be observant, watch out for criminals, call 911 if you suspect anything that's not right. Have a great day.